The electric car world has seen some 7-seater SUVs hit the ground running, and for good reason too. Lowering owner emissions while still being able to cart the troops around is an enviable dream, and there's just not that many that can do it. Enter the Volvo EX90 Ultra Twin Motor Performance. This blends the beauty and style that Volvo is known for with premium technology and now an electric powertrain. Will it entice? Let's find out. There are two grades to choose from for the new EX90, and we're testing the flagship Ultra Twin Motor Performance for this review. Despite sharing the same motors, this grade does see tweaked outputs, which improves its 0 to 100 km/h sprint time, and obviously it enjoys some upgraded bougie extras. In terms of its rivals, this sits in the middle of the Kia EV9 and the luxury Mercedes-Benz EQS. The WLTP driving range is also decent for an upper large SUV at 570 kilometers, and this only sits $6,600 more expensive than the flagship PHEV XC90 grade. All in all, it's actually not that badly priced for an EV of this size and caliber. The Ultra is well equipped, as you would expect, and you get electric front seats that also feature heat, ventilation, and massage functions. You also get a fixed panoramic sunroof, 25-speaker Bowers & Wilkins sound system, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get a digital key via the Volvo app, heated steering wheel, heated rear outboard seats, and an integrated booster seat in the rear. But the full specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. It's pretty easy to distinguish this from the boxier XC90 counterpart. This has smoother body paneling, an enclosed grille like a lot of EVs do, and the roofline gently slopes, which breaks up the body frame. I really like that there's still a lot of interesting things happening with the frameless mirrors and the body molding that juts out at the bottom, as well as my favorite, the Hammer of Thor LED headlights. The EX90 and its cousin, the Polestar 3, share the same underpinnings and technology. So the dashboard and the center console design are remarkably similar. So if you like that, you'll like it in here because it is quite a minimalist design. I really like though that you get a panoramic sunroof, and there is apparently an update coming sometime in the future which will allow that to turn opaque, which will be good during the summertime. This feels like a business class cabin inside. You've got beautiful ambient lighting integrated into the birchwood paneling and running lights throughout the car. Because of the electric powertrain, you also don't have a traditional transmission tunnel, which means that you get a flat floor in the back as well as a cool little cubby in the front. There's loads of head and legroom and elbow room up front, so there's lots of space to be had between occupants. It's a really easy SUV to get in and out of because of the 216mm ground clearance. The only thing with access is that the flush door handles don't always jut out when you approach, and annoyingly the key card only opens the doors from the driver's side, although there is an owner's app that you can use to remotely unlock the car if you need to. The front seats are deliciously comfortable with all of the extra functions that they have, and I really like that you've got expandable under thigh supports as well. Basically, it's super easy to get comfortable and stay comfortable on a longer trip in these. Because of the electrical underpinnings, you get some really clever storage in here now. You get a large glove box and middle console with a hidden cubby, as well as a large shelf underneath the center console, the usual cup holders, and extra large storage bins in each drawer. The 14.5 touchscreen multimedia system looks gorgeous and is easy to use. It's well laid out, it's got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as built-in Google apps, including Voice Assistant, which is quite good. This also has sat-nav, and the directions are pulled through to the 9-inch digital instrument cluster and the colored head-up display. I'm a buttons girl, and I do like having them in a car, but it hasn't been all that troublesome having all of the functions built into the screen, because you can toggle the most important parts like climate control and music control at the bottom, so it's easily accessible. And like I mentioned, the voice assistant is quite good in this model, which means that it's pretty hands-off most of the time. The seats in this middle row are quite ergonomic. They're also firm, but still comfortable for a longer journey because you have heat function on the outboard seats. Access to this row is as good as the front, and my 8-year-old didn't have any trouble this week getting in and out. Volvo's famous integrated booster seat has been shifted a little bit from the outboard seats to just feature in the middle. That might hurt functionality for some larger families who have similarly aged children, but for my single kid, it's been fine. This row also gets ISOFIX child seat mounts and 3 top tether anchor points, and the seat is wide enough to accommodate 3 child seats side by side. The storage and amenities are pretty good in this row. You get dual zone climate control, multiple air vents, 2 USB-C ports and those heat functions on the outboard seats, plus you get map pockets, a couple of cup holders and drink bottle holders. The third row is definitely kid size for access and tow room, but it's a row that's not forgotten. You do get directional air vents, 2 USB-C ports and cup holders back there, as well as 2 top tether anchor points, which will delight larger families. This week I've found this boot space to be quite practical. I really like that even with all 3 rows in place, you still get a large 324 litres of capacity, and that includes a big underfloor storage compartment. But if you do store this third row, which you can electrically fold them from back here, that jumps up to 697 litres. I also really like the active air suspension because you can manually lower or raise the height of the load lip, which is great if you have heavier items to load in. You get a 12-volt socket back here and a powered tailgate, which you can remotely open or close via the multimedia screen or the phone app itself. You also get a 34-litre front storage capacity at the front, which is great for any cables you get, and the tire repair kit. The Ultra is all-wheel drive and has twin electric motors, 1 on each axle. Together they produce up to 380 kilowatts of power and 910 Newton-meters of torque. That gives this a 0 to 100 km/h sprint of just 4.9 seconds, which is outstanding for such a large SUV. Do we need it to be this fast? No, but I certainly appreciate it. This has an official WLTP energy consumption figure of 16.9 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers. And my average has popped out at 20 kilowatt hour, which isn't too bad considering that I've done long open road driving and some urban trips this week. This also has strong regenerative braking, which obviously helps in that matter, and you also get a 1-pedal function. The EX90 has a Type 2 CCS charging port, as well as a large 111 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery, which supports a driving range of up to 570 kilometers. This accepts up to 11 kilowatts on an AC charger and up to 250 kilowatts on a faster DC charger, which is excellent. And that means that on a 250 kilowatt DC charger, you can go from 10 to 80% in as little as 35 minutes, but that jumps up to over 10 hours on an AC 11 kilowatt charger. This is smooth and effortlessly powerful. You don't notice the size of it either, so it feels quite nimble on the road. You never feel like you're out of control when you have to accelerate though, which is really important when you have an SUV EV at this size and with this power capability. You can customize the steering in this, and I liked it to be on firm this week just because it gave me the best feedback. The active air suspension is really good at getting rid of any of the big bumps in the road. You don't feel like you're floating though, it still feels really capable with lots of good feedback. The cabin space is really refined because there's practically no noise inside. It's only once you hit the highest speeds where you can get a little bit of rumble from the tires over certain surfaces, but otherwise super easy to chat with all 3 rows. The visibility is mostly good. It does feel like the rear window is quite a long way back though when you're looking at it, and this B pillar is a little bit thick, but otherwise I feel like I've got really good vision out the front and the sides. I really love this indicator. It totally reminds me of the motion tracker sensors that they have in Aliens, which admittedly I did notice when I was driving the Polestar 3, which shares the same platform as this as well. Parking this is pretty good. The 360-degree view camera system is fairly clear. There's a little bit of distortion around the edges, but you've got lots of parking sensors in this. And the turning circle is probably what you would expect at 12 meters, but it still feels very friendly to park in a small shopping car park. The EX90 hasn't been tested with ANCAP yet and is thus unrated, but it does host a full suite of safety features, including side exit assist, emergency call functionality, and child detection alert. It also comes packed with 7 airbags, including front center airbags, and curtain airbags extending to all 3 rows. But the full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. The EX90 is offered with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is on par with a lot of its rivals, but the Kia does have it beat. Servicing intervals are at every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. But how much do they cost? Well, for the first 5 years of ownership, servicing costs are actually built into your purchase price, which makes them feel like they're free and helps with the day-to-day convenience. The new Volvo EX90 Ultra Twin Motor Performance blends sophistication with functionality. It looks good, it handles beautifully on the road, and it has decent driving range and charging capabilities. Plus, you can comfortably fit a family of 7 in this, so what's not to like? And that's why it gets a score that's on your screen now. But if you're after more details, check out my full written review at carsguide.com.au. I'll see you next week.